All right. Hey everyone, my name is Amy, like Lisa said, and I'm with Simon and Lori, and we're part of the creative team at Pinterest. And today we're super excited to share this brand new deck with you guys on repurposing with purpose to really show you how easy it is to create Pinterest content using assets that you might already have. So let's go. Okay. So today we'll be going over a quick overview of what repurposing actually is. We're going to go into where you can repurpose content from, some examples of repurposed content out in the wild, some programs to help you create assets and design content with ease, and lastly, answer any questions that you guys may have. And again, this deck will be sent out within the next day or two. So if you do have any other nuanced questions, don't fear, we'll be sending you the deck so you can look back as well. All right. Okay, so an overview of what repurposing with purpose is. So the misconception is creating for Pinterest is way too hard. And so while I can't see a raise of hands on the webinar, I'll put this question out to you guys. So how many of you still wonder how to create content for Pinterest? I'll pause for a second. Okay, so did you raise your hand? Are you wondering how to use images to express your message, maybe? Are you worried your business won't resonate on Pinterest? These are concerns I hear over and over and over again, right? I'm here to tell you, don't worry, that's my response. It's actually not that hard to use Pinterest for your business. You just need to position your content properly. Okay, so in fact, like I said, creating for Pinterest is super easy. You just need to reframe the way you see your creative. And so when I say that, I say enter repurpose with purpose. There's no need to reinvent the wheel here. And so when we say repurpose with purpose, we're talking about adapting creative assets, whether it's living on your website, stock websites, social platforms, and etc., and creating a totally unique and bespoke piece of content from them. And like I said, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. Many of your businesses have such amazing content, but really, you have it at your fingertips. So how are the ways that we can really use this content and create it in a new and unique way?
Awesome. Thanks, Amy. This is Simon. So how do you go about creating compelling and beautiful imagery? Well, I want to give you just like a few ways that you can really stand out on the platform with your creative. As shallow as it seems, we are all about looks here at Pinterest. We are a visual platform. So your promoted pins, your ads, need to fit into that expectation too. So a quick tip is to always provide context on why someone should care about your product or your company. As we say at Pinterest, pins are always ideas. So you should try and combine context with some personal relevancy. So when it comes to creative, think about playing with patterns, think about playing with space, color, texture. All these ways are great ways to stand out in feed, and use some visually arresting images to get pinners to take notice of your pins. On the screen now, you're seeing some examples from some of our partners. We have Overstock and Target. And these are great ideas from everything from trending bathing suits to of-the-moment trending looks for your home. You want to make sure that your pins feel endemic to the platform. So this example on the left, is, I'm sure it's a great sale, but it feels a little bit like a banner ad. And that's kind of something we want to try and avoid on Pinterest. It's not particularly actionable. It's not particularly beautiful. So when you're creating your content, try and think of why someone should care about your promoted pin.
All right. And so next, you want to make it useful and doable. And so when I say useful, I mean inspire and educate. You need to ask yourself, what makes your product special? What makes you an expert at your brand? And by doable, I mean give them an idea that they can actually do. Balance of aspirational and practical kind of ideas and content. We really want to make it easy to take action within the pin by tapping through to the desired destination so they can learn more or actually buy your product. And whether that's just understanding the pinner and what they want, for example, if your pin works hard in all the right places, then the consumer will soon start to see the brand or product fitting into their lives, which you really want them to do. And so I love this example from this Lego pin showing the Lego Duplo. There we go. Sorry. Showing the Lego Duplo Shadow Theater, because it really shows just the step-by-step ways of creating that actual look.
Great. Yeah, and like I mentioned before, make sure that your pin is an idea that will help a pinner go away and take action. So pins should represent your actionable, inspiring ideas. People come to Pinterest every single day to discover new ideas from brands and businesses that are just like yours, and they're actively searching for pins that will help them go out and try something new. Just like this, holographic nails.
Which I definitely want to do.
Yeah, me too, I think.
Hi guys, this is Lori from the creative team, and I'm going to tell you where you can repurpose from. So you might be thinking, you know, these images all look great, but I don't have anything that looks like that. But don't fear, some of the best inspiration and content can come from the most common places that I'm sure you already have. So first, just photography. I'm sure your brands have lovely photos on your computers. Hopefully they're lifestyle images. If not, you can always use, you know, product photos and make them look interesting. And if not, if you have absolutely nothing, if you're brand new, there are a ton of great stock photo websites. Unsplash.com is a favorite one. It's free. Lots of photographers who want you to use their photos. And then simply, you know, add a header, like we were saying, give them a reason to click. Websites are also a great source. You know, just give it a vertical crop and you're good to go. Here we also just flipped it horizontally, which is a fairly easy step on Photoshop or on Canva or pick one key, and just added some fun text overlay. And then lastly, you know, you might be thinking, if you only have a product image on white background, you know, how do you make that interesting? Here, we turned it into a swatch down below. So, you know, especially if you lead with a beautiful lifestyle image at top, think about how you can, you know, show all the different colors and textures at the bottom. And also social. So, you know, thinking about Instagram, Facebook, even if they're not vertical, you know, try stacking two photos together to create a beautiful long pin. Vertical is very important here on Pinterest. Add a header, add a logo, not too big, not too small, and you're good to go.
Cool. Okay, so I know that was pretty quick, but don't fear. We are going to provide a few more examples just for context using brands we've worked with day in and day out. And so regardless if your company or brand fits into beauty, food, fashion, or home decor, I'm here really to encourage you guys and empower you to say that creating content for Pinterest is really easier than you think. So let's take a deep dive into some examples. Okay, so Lori mentioned you can repurpose from social, and I'm here to say that you can repurpose from Instagram too. A lot of the times, content from brands that you have or that you own have beautiful images on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. So really think about creating content for Pinterest in a unique way by either stacking still images and adding text overlay with a little bit more context. So here, this is a Hershey's Kitchen example, but you took the images from Instagram and kind of added them and stacked them for Pinterest. You added some text overlay to call out what recipes they are. And then below, you added a logo, the Hershey's Kitchens logo, to add a little bit more equity. So people, when they see your content, they know it's coming from your brand, and in this case, Hershey's. Cool. And so Simon also mentioned, you know, banner ads, they don't often work on Pinterest, but I think you can take some inspiration from the banner ads that you may have created and use that for Pinterest. So again, this is a Hershey's example. And so we wanted to take that image up top and the banner ad and really use it as a full bleed image on Pinterest. We turned the text into an idea. So Hershey's Kisses chocolate gift wrapping. We removed that Shop Now button and then added a logo. And in this case, we do allow the language Shop Now. So if you're so inclined and if you really are more of a direct response type of partner, you can always include that messaging.
Yeah, and so here's another great example from one of our partners, this time Maybelline. And all they've done here is take some great content from their website and place it in a vertical format. You see all the great products there. They've added the swatches in for each product, the product names, a helpful, actionable, catchy headline up top, and at the bottom there, just off screen, is their logo. There we go. Super easy. And here's another example, another beauty brand, one of our partners, Clinique. This time from their Facebook account. And actually all the content is pretty much there. All they've had to do is add it in a format, a vertical format for Pinterest, in this case 600 by 900 pixels. And the text overlay is already there. And in this case, actually, they didn't even need to add in their logo because you can see it's already really visible on the product. So a really quick, easy fix for them. And that's a great pin.
Yep, and for fashion as well, lots of print campaigns. So here for Sorel boots, simply take a photo from the print campaign, make it vertical by stacking it over a product shot, add some tasteful branding up in the corner, and some product info down below. And again, social is a really great way to, great resource for you. If you Even again, if it's not vertical, just give it a nice vertical crop. Hopefully the image is large enough to be cropped at 600 by 900, like Simon was saying. And then just add some interesting text. Have fun with the text treatment. Here we made blue blue. It's easier than you think.
Okay. So if you've spent any time on Pinterest, you know it's all about the beautiful pins, like we've been talking about. And so part of your master plan for beautiful Pinterest images is designing a brand that people love and gravitate towards. So when you're designing, we want you to be consistent with these few things. Adding your logo and branding to images so people can recognize your pins, right? Stick with a tight color palette with 2 or 3 main brand colors so your pins and content don't get too busy. Use the same fonts each time. A, that's probably for your sanity, and B, so pinners can understand where the pins are coming from. And then find a style of photos that fit your brand. Maybe you are light and ethereal, right? Or maybe you're dark and moody. Depending on whatever you fit into, just stick with that. You can always kind of test and deviate at times, but really try to be consistent. Okay. So after that, now I'm going to go through a few programs that you can use to create easy Pinterest graphics. So I can see that some of us have been asking questions about what websites that we can use in terms of designing pins, and we're going to go through those right now. Okay, so the first one is Canva. And so founded in 2012, Canva is a free, you heard it, free graphic design tool website that uses a drag and drop format and provides access to over 1 million photographs, graphics, fonts, templates, etc. So you can see right here, it's amazingly easy, and besides Pinterest content, you can create resumes, cover letters, business cards, and more. It's so amazing. It really doesn't take too long to learn. And you can see in the third image in the screen, there's the Pinterest graphic. So you really can use this kind of content and use this template to create tons of pins, even if you are a design newbie or a design kind of like aficionado, right? So I'm going to go into kind of some of the look and feel of Canva just so you can get an eye on things. So here is basically the template when I say that I want to design a Pinterest pin. You can see all the tools on the left, from layouts, elements, text background. You can also upload your images. So whether you have images from your website or from Instagram, you can kind of use those images and upload them to create new Pinterest content. And then also on the left, you can see all of these awesome templates to use. They're right at your fingertips. They're really easy to use and create. So, you know, depending on what you're trying to do or what your style is, you can use all these templates for you. Super easy, and we can go over kind of that a little bit more in a live demo.
Yeah, thanks, Amy. You don't have to be a Photoshop wizard to make great pins for Pinterest. Like, we have another great resource here, which is Pick Monkey. It's super affordable. I think it's probably something like $8 a month. There is a free trial if you want to get started with it. It's a photo editor, but like Canva, they have some really beautiful and easy to edit Pinterest templates. So whatever your vertical is, whether you're beauty, you're in fashion, you're home decor, there's some really great templates to get you started. They're the right specifications for Pinterest. All you have to do is go in, drag and drop your images, edit the text, add in your logo, and you're good to go. If you're really adventurous, you're feeling creative, you can actually start from scratch. So this is a screen, how it will look when you start from scratch. Just go into the bottom where the size options there, we called them out, and add in 600 by 900. That's like our optimum Pinterest size. And add in your images, add in some copy, and you're good to go.
All right, Lori again, here to go into the details about what specs are best for Pinterest. So like I said, definitely think vertical. We always design at least 2 by 3 up, and specifically it's 600 by 900 pixels. And you can go a little taller than that as well. 600 by 1260 is usually about as tall as we get. Otherwise, it might get more difficult to see by pinners. I always say that as PNGs, but JPEGs also work. There is a file size max, so be careful, but you shouldn't be hitting that as long as it's 600 by 900 at 72 dpi. And thinking about logos, I mean, the kind of age-old example is that, you know, brands want their logos as big as possible, but remember that Pinterest, you know, people are seeing lots of beautiful imagery all around you, so make sure it's tasteful. I like to put them, you know, at the bottom center, maybe left corner, right corner. It could also go up at the top, but again, thinking about how a pinner scrolls, they see the top first. So you might want to lead with the beautiful imagery at the top to kind of draw them in and then let them know it's an ad. And then text, so point sizes depend on the font, but generally, as long as it's larger than 20 points, it'll be legible on mobile. So definitely think about that, you know, mobile in feed as opposed to clicking. You want to get to be able to read. And description. So using the description is a great way to tell a deeper story so that you don't need to overload the pin with all the text and info that you want your pinners to see. So you can include up to 500 characters of copy in the pin description, including spaces, and make sure you lead with the most important message. The first 65 to 75 characters show in feed, and the rest will, you know, be visible once you capture their attention enough to click closer. And also use the description to add more context to the idea, like I said, showing how to use the product, highlighting product features so that you don't have to put it all on, you know, crowding the visual. And the copy in the pin descriptions will impact how the pins show up organically in search and home feed. So definitely remember to use relevant, user-friendly keywords to maximize your chances for additional distribution. And so now we're going to lead you through a demo of Canva. Like we said, it's pretty simple. So I'm excited to show you guys how to get started. So just head on up to canva.com. And like Amy showed, you know, there are specific Pinterest graphics. You can also up top right see that there's custom dimensions if you want to make it a little bit taller. But here we're just going to go with a typical, you know, layout. There are tons to choose from, really nicely designed ones, and they're super customizable. So this one is great. I love the use of white space because when you think about the Pinterest feed, it's surrounded by white. So I think including nice white space, either symmetrically or asymmetrically, can be a really nice way to guide a pinner's eye toward your pin without having to rely on, kind of tasteless banner, banner methods. So it's really great, just the functionality. You can crop in, you can make sure that your product is seen in the absolute best light. Here, we just uploaded one from, again, this was actually just from unsplash.com, the free stock website, but, obviously it can be from your website, anywhere that you have photos, just upload them on the left side. Making sure it focuses perfectly on that product. Cool. And so now it's up top. It's really awesome. There are tons of fonts to choose from. And think about what will resonate with the audience. So here we're going with Made in SF because, thinking especially if you are a small business, you want, to really reach an audience that will appreciate that. You can change up the colors, or up top you can even choose any specific color if your brand, has specific special color, or any color that'll really make the product pop. So here I chose blue because blue and yellow are opposites. And again, just customizing the type, making sure it's at least 20 pixels. So here it's 24 point. 24 point is, again, about maybe as small as you'd want to go for mobile legibility, and making it bold. And there's just so much freedom to play around with it. You can make that block bigger, smaller. Again, that block up top is a really great way if your image is not vertical. You can play around with having a color block up top, stacked above or below. And lastly, I'm going to add a logo, and I'm going to put it bottom center in the same color as the top, so it kind of feels cohesive all the way around, not too big, not too small, and voila. That was pretty easy, right?
I'm going to buy that bag. I love it.
If your product has branding on it, that's also, a great way to show it organically. And then you just download it, and you can upload it straight to Pinterest.
How easy was that? Woo.
Super easy.
Awesome. So that's just one kind of example that Lori created, but there are tons of other templates too. So I really encourage you after this webinar just to really just go into both Canva and PicMonkey and just see for yourselves how easy it is. You can probably spend hours there, so I wouldn't do it during the workday, but maybe if you have an extra 5-10 minutes, it's a really great tool to create beautiful and actionable content with ease.